For the next 60 minutes, we are going to enjoy, and I mean enjoy, the release of tension in our shoulders. Yesterday we worked on the hips. Today the focus is on our shoulders in this restorative practice, in your restorative practice. I'll emphasize the word your too. And I also want to just hone in on that word enjoy. Really enjoy the practice. No expectations, no rushing, no hurry, no keeping up. You do it your way and enjoy. So the bottom of our screen says do what's right for your body. You always want to do that. If something hurts, back out of it. Don't do it. Find another way. Take it to a lesser percentage. Just don't do it at all. But don't have pain in any of these poses. The idea is to release, to relax, and let go. Hi, my name is Jan. That's Piper back there. There she is. And this is your yoga from home practice. Every day is different. All of our practices are different. Check us out every day and find what you like and do what you like and do what you can. And you can do all the practices. Today there's a word to think about, and the word is distractions. Oh my gosh, their life is so distracting, isn't it? The definition of distractions is something that divides your attention and causes mental distress. That's not good. Don't be drawn away from your practice today. Focus inward and focus on the one and only you. I mean, really, the wonderful you. You're all you've got. Your breath is all you've got. Take time to take care of you. All right, props that you're going to need for today's practice. You're going to need a bolster or a big, thick pillow from your sofa. Place it at the very top of your mat. A blanket, place it at the very bottom of your mat. Maybe you've got a couple blankets. Maybe you modify and make this work just in different ways for you. 2 yoga blocks, have them close by because we're going to use those in our first pose, our child's pose, and have some water nearby and an eye shade or a little towel. Have it up near where your shoulders will be. I've got mine already positioned and I'm ready to start. So challenge yourself. It's hard. I know it's hard to think, oh, an hour-long practice of just lying around, but it works wonders in your body. Turn off your noisy mind and let's come into child's pose. And how about you get in your bed? All right, for child's pose today, first of all, lock in your stress number in your mind. What's going on? Scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, yoga blocks on your mat. Child's pose. We hold these poses longer. I think we've got about 7 or 8 poses today, not a whole lot. So bring your knees together or spread them a little wider. Maybe you put the blanket under your knees, your toes, whatever feels good. Don't worry about the blanket so much. And position your blocks, kind of at about shoulder height, and then bring your elbows down to your blocks. If you know already you don't like this, and it doesn't feel right, use your bolster. Place your bolster vertically on your mat, and then just rest your entire torso on your bolster if you prefer. All right, elbows I'm going to place on my blocks, whatever height you like of the blocks. Palms touching. Sink your bottom back toward your heels. Bring your hands to a prayer position behind your head. And you might have to adjust the blocks a little bit this way or that way, and let your chest sink down toward the earth. The crown of your head is lengthening to the front of your room. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth and find peace here in whichever variation of your child's pose that you wish to take. I'm getting into the shoulders a little more today with this position of the elbows on the blocks. Just focus on your breath here. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Think of the breath coming out of your back, of your lungs. You can always adjust the height of your blocks. Whatever you like is right. Whatever you like is right. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out, trying to focus only on your breath and letting all your thoughts go. Come back to them later. You'll be back into the world soon enough. Just let your thoughts go for now. You may wish to repeat a simple word to yourself like calm or peace. Just breathe. Breathe deeply. Maybe close your lips and only breathe in and out of your nose. Feel the expansion across your back as your lungs fill up. And as you exhale, imagine all the tension and stress and worry leaving your body. Peace. Big breath in and big breath out. Really empty it out. Another cycle of breath here. You're welcome to stay here in this pose if it just feels really right for your body today. If you'd like to move on, slowly bring your hands away from the back of your neck. Release the palms from each other. Slowly press on up a little bit and bring your blocks way to the top of your mat. And you come on down to a pentacle pose. You've got your bolster high at the top. Just leave it there, but scoot it away a bit. In your pentacle pose, arms are long and high overhead, and your legs are long, so you're reaching to all four corners of your room with all four limbs. Breathe in peace and comfort, and let the stresses go. Come to total stillness. And just feel the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Our pentacle pose is just a brief little reset of the body, but if you really like it, go ahead and stay here. I'm going to press on up a little bit and scoot that bolster down and bring it so it's underneath my shoulders. You could have your eye shade here too and cover your eyes if you like. So scoot the bolster so it's in a really good spot, right under the shoulder blades or shoulder blades right on it. You find where it feels really good. Maybe you like it a little bit lower. I think I'm gonna scoot mine a little bit lower. And the block that's at the top, you can use that as a pillow for your head. So adjust the bolster so you really feel like your chest is lifted. Arms tee out, legs long. For now, we're going to move them in just a second, but just get that bolster adjusted first. Maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower, just so that you feel your chest is really lifted. And if you don't wish to use the block, you can let the head go back toward the mat. Now your legs can remain long on your mat. You can bend your knees and have the soles of the feet on your mat. Or you can bring the soles of your feet to touch and let your knees open wide to the sides of your room. I'm going to set a timer for 3 minutes here. You do what feels best for you in your legs, in your shoulders, in your neck, and try to find stillness as you just breathe and let everything go. Deepen your breaths. And be supported. No tension, no holding on. Just your breath. Big breaths. As you inhale, really feel the chest rise to the sky. And as you exhale, soften your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And if you really like this pose, stay here longer. If you'd like to join me in coming onto your belly, let's bring the legs back to long on the mat. And slowly roll on over on this bolster and roll onto your belly. Place the bolster at about, collarbone height or whatever feels right. And those two blocks that are at the top of your mat, take them under your hands, kind of like an extended child's pose. And just rest here. Close your eyes. Now with your blocks, it's easy to do with minimal movement. You can keep your eyes closed. Maybe you increase their height, or maybe you decrease their height, or use no blocks at all. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And let's stay here for about 3 minutes. As you breathe, feel your belly push against your mat. And enjoy this little mild compression of your low back and the extension in your shoulders. Deepen your breath. No thoughts, just your breath. Feel what you feel in your low back and in your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And when you're ready, hands off of your blocks. Just gently press on up through the shoulders and scoot your bolster up toward the top of your mat, kind of where your blocks were. And grab your blocks and bring them kind of where your bolster was. Bring one block. Keep the other block at the top. And what you're going to do here is you're going to roll onto one side or the other. I'm going to roll onto my right hip first. And I'm going to place this block under my armpit. Block under the armpit. And then I'm going to extend the right arm long onto that bolster. Position the block maybe at its medium height. It's not terribly comfortable, you'll see, but it's also not painful, at least for me. If it is painful, don't do it. Find that sweet spot, if you want to call it that, and just enjoy the good stretch here. So your arm is resting on your bolster, your head is resting on that extended arm, and the other arm can be just down by your side, letting the top shoulder relax. All right, so this is fairly intense, but just breathe here. Deep breath in and deep breath out. I'm going to set our 3-minute timer, but you stay here as long as is right for you. Let the fingers of the extended arm rest on that other block as you breathe here. Imagine that shoulder softening. Let go of the tension there. Don't hold on. Release in the shoulders. Think of space in the shoulders. Deepen your breath. Take a deep breath in and a really deep breath out. How does it feel now as opposed to when you first came into it? Makes you want to stay longer, I hope. It's kind of like the toes pose of the armpit. How's that for a description? Let's just roll over onto the other side and do the same thing under the other arm. So you don't have to move very much. Position the block, extend the opposite arm, your left arm. Have the forearm rest on your bolster, maybe the fingers on the other block. Roll onto your left hip, knees slightly bent, and then adjust this block to where it feels really good. Rest your left cheek onto your extended left arm. Find the spot, move around a little bit, and find where it feels really good in that armpit, in that shoulder, and breathe. I'm going back to my starting side just so I don't have to move my bolsters and have my bottom facing the camera. You just rest here for 3 minutes on this arm. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And really, don't be hesitant to move that block, to allow it to find a spot that feels really good for you. Soften in your entire side body as it lengthens closer to the mat. Let your deep breaths calm you. Maybe move your top shoulder back a little bit more toward the back of your room and just feel how that feels different in the shoulder. And again, just settle in, let it feel right. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. As you're ready, press on out of this and come back to a pentacle pose. So you don't have to move very far, you don't have to move very much. Come on down to your bottom. Arms reach long overhead. Limbs to all four corners of your room. This is going to be a 3-minute pentacle pose. I'm not going to speak. I'll let you know when the time is up. Just enjoy. Take a deep breath in and a big tension releasing breath out. You can stay here in your Pentacle pose if this is speaking to you, or I'm going to make my way to a legs up the wall pose. Maybe slowly bring your arms down by your sides. Really exaggerate the slowness of it. Just let it be. Bring your legs back to the midline of your body and make your way to your wall slowly with minimal movement, and bring your blanket and maybe your eye shade or whatever other props you want to make it your own unique pose. So I'm going to bring the blanket up next to the wall so I can sit on it. Bring your eye shade or your towel. That'll feel really good. You know, if you don't have a empty wall near you, you could always just bring your legs, the calves, on up to a chair and place the calves in the seat of the chair. Very similar pose. All right, so scoot one hip up next to your wall. Come on down to recline and bring your legs on up the wall. The blanket kind of feels good there. Now there's lots of variations you can take with your legs. Cover your eyes if you want. You can have the legs long. You can have the knees bent with the soles of the feet on the mat. That feels good on the low back. You could open up your legs long and have them like in the shape of a V on the wall. Or the variation I'm going to take today is kind of like a Sukhasana pose. So crisscross the legs and let the knees come toward the wall. And then the arms. The arms is where we're going to focus today. Arms overhead like your extended mountain arms. Or, if you prefer, bend the elbows, bringing the shoulders parallel to, I don't know what. Bring the elbows into a goalpost shape. Or extend the arms high overhead. You decide as you get back into the shoulders and your legs, however you would like them to be. Big breaths in, big breaths out. Find your peace in your legs up the wall pose, and we are going to be here for 5 minutes. Deep breaths. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let your tailbone reach more to the ground as you soften in your hips. Now, if you have been in a Sukhasana pose with the legs, switch them out so the other leg is on top. Remember to let the knees relax toward the wall. Arms, maybe you revisit those. Just find a good stretch in your shoulders. Deepen your breath. We've got less than a minute left here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bring your arms down by your sides and then send your legs back up the wall if they're not already there. Heels on the wall, legs long, arms, tee them out as you reach to the two sides of your room. Big breath in, big breath out, heels in the wall, tailbone down. Press your heels a little more into the wall. Let your tailbone come a little more down onto your mat. Then with your arms extended long, reach up toward the sky and then give yourself a big hug, letting the arms fall to the opposite side. Touch the palms down to the earth. Maybe reach the hands toward the spine as you give yourself a big hug. Shoulders, let them be down on the mat and then think of sending them wide to the sides of your room. Hold here in this hug. Breathe into the hug. Feel the shoulders. Just breathe. Hold the hug. Let it feel nice. Deep breaths. As you inhale, feel the expansion of the shoulders to the side of the room. And as you exhale, feel the shoulders relax into the earth. Now remember which arm is on top. And then tee out your arms again. Take it super slow. Let the backs of the hands touch down. And then big hug with the opposite arm on top. Slowly lift your arms up, up, up. Reach to the opposite sides. Maybe the hands touch the earth, or you wrap them around your back. And breathe through about 5 or 6 cycles of deep hugs here. Feel the expansion, and then feel the spine of the shoulder blades touch the earth as you let go. Maybe one more cycle of breath. Then release your arms down by your sides. Big breath in. And big breath out. Shoulders are soft and really down on your mat. Bend your knees so that your soles of your feet are on your mat. Press a little bit into the wall with the soles of your feet. And kind of just feel the tailbone come down to your blanket. Just a little bit of tension in the legs, just for a little bit. Breathe deeply and have no thoughts. Just be at peace. And now let's come out of this position and make our way into a final shavasana pose. But if legs up the wall is really your thing today, stay here and readjust your body into whatever variation you like. Release the tension in the feet and let the hip come down the wall. And make your way back to your mat for your final shavasana pose. Now lots of ways you can take it, because you need to do what feels best for you, tension-wise. What I'm going to do in this corpse pose, final shavasana pose, is I'm going to put the bolster at my knees. I'm going to bring my 2 blocks up near my head. Bring your blanket to cover up whatever you want to cover up. Maybe just your feet, your thighs, your shoulders, or maybe you want to cover up your whole body. Bring your eye shade with you too. I'm going to have my bolster under my knees, legs long, feet spread a little bit to just get comfortable. Come down to recline. Cover your eyes. Now here's an interesting thing to do with your blocks. Really helps you stay focused, and it's a reminder to calm your mind. It's going to be a little bit of pressure on the area right between your eyes, which feels pretty good. Place your block, one block at the top of your head, like you're balancing a book on your head. Then the other block, place it at the high height. Place it so the edge of the other block is right between your eyes. It looks silly, but nobody sees you, so let it be. Let that little bit of pressure right at the bridge of the nose, let it work its magic. It's interesting. Perhaps you've covered your eyes with your eye shade or your towel as well. Arms are long and down by your sides. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and settle in to your final shavasana pose. We'll be here probably about 7 minutes today, and the idea is to really just let everything go that has happened in the past, and define that however you like. Just let everything go. And you're going to be reborn in a few minutes when you wiggle your fingers and toes and come out of this into just newness, into peace. Shoulders are relaxed. They worked hard today. Arms are down by your sides. Your mind is calm. Your breath is deep. No distractions, just the peace inside of you, cultivated here. Breathe deeply, and I will let you know when this time is up. Enjoy your quiet time. Deepen your breath and soften in your shoulders. Tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Soften more in your shoulders. They're away from your ears and down on your back. Only movement in your body is the lifting of your belly up toward the sky as you inhale fully. And then slowly exhale it, pursing your lips and breathing out as if you were breathing out a teeny little straw. A few more breaths just like this if it is time to conclude your practice. If you're going to stay longer in your final shavasana pose, just continue to breathe deeply and find peace inside. Big breath in. And slow breath out through your lips. And then do it again, please. Big breath in. Slow little breath out through your lips. Now your fingers and toes, just imagine a little sparkle there. And when you're ready, start to wiggle the fingers and toes just a teeny tiny little bit. And then start to work that motion up into your fingers and toes by spreading them wide and then squeezing and clenching them tightly. Almost like how you pressed your feet into the wall as we were coming out of our legs up the wall pose. And then open up your hands wide, toes wide. Do that several times as you waken up the extremities of your body. And when you're ready, start to circle the wrists and the ankles. Draw your toes up towards your shins and then point your toes. Draw your fingers up towards your wrists and then point them. Flex and extend through the ankles and the wrists. On an inhale, reach high up overhead and take your big good morning stretch. Feel it in your shoulders. Maybe bring the backs of your hands down to your mat. Maybe as if you're climbing, reach one arm, slide it up higher toward the room, and then slide the other side up toward the end of your room. Move through the shoulders with this extension. And bring your arms down by your sides. Remove your blocks if you use them in that setup on your head. Roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Maybe you keep your blanket at your waist just because it feels good. Roll onto one side. Bend your low arm. Use it as a bicep. Use your bicep as a pillow for your head. Top shoulder relaxes down. Big breath in. Big breath out. No hurry. Just savor this moment here. As everything that was old is gone, and everything that is new and fresh is inside of you. When you're ready, press on up to a comfortable seated position if you like. Bring your hands to a prayer center position. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, shoulders soften. Blink your eyes open. You did it. That concludes our practice. How did you do? So just move your shoulders a little bit. How do they feel? I hope they feel a lot better. In fact, give yourself a big hug. How does that feel? And then do it on the other side just to even out. Hands back to prayer center. Stress number you took in the beginning. What was it then? And more importantly, what is it now? Thank you for being here, Tammy, my hula hoop friend. Liz, how are you? Stan, Betty, Esther, Karen, Tina, Marietta. I'm glad that you're here. All right, so we are constantly hit with one adversity after the other, aren't we, though? Most of those things we don't have any control over, but you do have control over 4 things. Those 4 things are how you react, how you adapt, how you breathe through it, and what kind of action you take. So choose the right things and choose to live in peace. See you on your mat tomorrow. Peace be with you. Bye. Hey, Piper, come here. Come here. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. We could take a lot of lessons from them, couldn't we? Have a good day. Bye. Do something nice for somebody today. And it's not because they did something nice for you. Do it without expectation. Do it because you're just a nice person. One of those nice things you could do would be to share our yoga with them. Everybody needs their yoga, that's for sure. Share our practice with them. It is free for anybody and everybody. It's on Facebook, it's on YouTube. They can do it when they want or they can come live. But share our practice with your friends. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Let's continue with our challenges this month and let's slay them. See you on your mat tomorrow.